Welcome. In this video, I am going to talk about how to factorize and solve an equation that is not quadratic. We know how to factorize a quadratic equation, right? We find out a, b, and c of a quadratic expression. Find out a, b, and c, and find the two numbers that sums b, and then whose product is a times c, and then we break the middle term by those two numbers and then we group the terms, right? But in case of the cubic polynomial, how do we do that? Again, so as usual, if you are solving any equations, you should make the first thing you should do is you make the right side 0, okay, and look at if there is any common terms between among all the terms, okay. If there is anything common, you take that out first and then work with the things inside the parenthesis. For the cubic expression with 4 terms, write in descending order of exponent, then group the first 2 and the last 2 terms. If there are 4 terms, that's what you do. If there are 3 terms, we first look at those 2 points here, if there is anything common, and then work out if there is anything common, take that common out and then work inside the parenthesis, okay. Let's see some examples on that. Example A, x cubed plus x squared equals to 6x. The first thing you do is make the right side 0, subtract 6x from the both side, right? What you get is x cubed plus x squared minus 6x equals to 0. Is there anything common to all of the terms? Yes. What is common is x, right? Let's take x out. You get x squared plus x minus 6 equals to 0. Do you know 2 factors for this? We need 2 numbers whose sum is 1 and product is -3. What are those 2 numbers? You can write down directly if you know that. If you don't know that, you'll find out a, b, and c. A is 1. We are working only inside the parenthesis, okay? A is 1, b is also 1, c is -6. We need 2 numbers, right, whose sum is 1 and then product is a times c is -6, right? What are those 2 numbers? Maybe +3 and -2. The sum is +1 and the product is -6, right? And then you break that according to that one, okay? Let's show that. I mean, if you know that directly, you can write down 2 factors directly, right? Like x is there and then write down 2 factors like this. Because there is just one, a is just 1, you can write the direct way that you learned, okay? The 2 numbers as +3 and then -2. You can write down that way and then set equals to 0. You can do that directly. That's not a problem, okay? But if you don't know that method, and this method works only if the a is 1, but if a is different from 1, then you'll have to do that way anyway, okay? So how do I do that? So x, and write down the first one is x squared, the last one is -6. You have seen that method before. And then the middle term is 1. You need to break like plus 3x, right? And then minus 2x. Then what we do is you take the you group the first 2 and the last 2 and then take the common thing, right? So what you get basically x is outside there, so if you group that, you will get x common inside, x plus 3, right? And then -2 is common on the last 2, -2 x plus 3, right? And there is a big parenthesis. So inside that, what is the common between the first and the last one? It is x plus 3 is common, right? So you can write x times x plus 3, right? And then what is left is x minus 2. Exactly, you got the same thing, right? There is nothing different there. You got exactly the same thing. Now our goal is we want to solve this, right? So to solve this, what you do is you need to set everything equals to 0. Each factor equals to 0. The one is x equals to 0 is one answer, right? For the second one, you set x plus 3 equals to 0, x plus 3 equals to 0. If you subtract 3 from both sides, you will get x equals to -3. That's the second answer. And the last one is x minus 2 equals to 0. So if you add 2 on both sides, you get x equals to +2. So that's the 3 solutions, 3 answers to this equation, okay? So this was a cubic, because it has a cube. The highest exponent is 3, so we call cubic. And then it has just 3 terms, okay? In that case, we were able to factor out, we were able to take the common thing out and then got the quadratic, okay? But sometimes you don't get the common thing out. In example 2, first thing you do is make the right hand side 0. It is already 0. Is there anything common to all the terms? There is no common all the terms. For the cubic expression, this is the cubic expression. We write it has 4 terms, right? It has 4 terms. We write in descending order. Let's write down in descending order. 3x cubed minus x squared minus 12x plus 4 equals to 0. All right. So what is common? Now what we do next is you group. So let's group the first 2 and the last 2. If you group it, what do you get? You get, what is the common? X squared is common, right? What is left is x minus 1, because if you take x squared out, 3x minus 1, 3x minus 1 left. And what is the common between those two? Is negative 4. 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Now 3x minus 1 is common to this and that, right? So you write 3x minus 1 is common. What is left is, we usually write or, okay? You write or because since there is equal to sign later, so we don't write equal sign at the beginning. Okay, so or, what you get is 3x minus 1 is common. What is left is x squared minus 4 equals to 0. Okay, so to solve this, what we do, you set each of them equals to 0. What you get is 3x minus 1 equals to 0. Because the product is 0, means either the first one is 0 or the second one is 0. How do I solve this? You add 1 on both sides. So you got 3x equals to 1 divided by 3. You got x equals to 1 over 3. That is one answer. Okay, and for the second one, you do x squared minus 4 equals to 0. Add 4 on both sides. Okay, what do you get? X squared equals to 4. Now take the square root. Don't forget that when you take the square root, you need to consider both plus and minus. So you get x equals to plus minus. What is the square root of 4? Is 2, right? So what are the answers? Solutions are x equals to 1/3, positive 2, and negative 2. That's what you get. Okay, let's do number C. It has big exponents. 7x to the 6 equals to 35x to the 5. So again, follow the rules. Make the right side 0. You need to subtract that 35x to the 5. You get 7x to the 6, 6, and then minus 35x to the 5 equals to 0. And the second point is there anything common? Yes, there is a common, right? What is common? 7 is common. X to the 5 is also common. 7x to the 5. 7x to the 5. If you take that common, what is left is x, right? If you take x to the 5 out, there is x left, and then minus, what is left? Another thing is 5, right? Because when you take 7 out, 7 times 5 is 35. So that's why equals to 0. Now what you do is you take 7x to the 5 equals to 0, or x minus 5 equals to 0, right? You can write or here too. So here too. So if you do that, divide by 7 on both sides. So you said x to the 5 equals to 0, and take the fifth root, you will get x equals to 0 is the one solution. And here add 5 on both sides, you get x equals to 5 is the another solution. So the solution here are, or the roots here are x equals 0 and x equals to 5. Now let us look at example number D. This example is different from the other example because there is some patterns there, right? Because there is x plus 5 to the square minus 3x plus 5 plus 4 equals 0. This problem can be done in many different ways. One way could be you FOIL this, because x plus 5 times x plus 5. You FOIL this, you distribute that, and then simplify, add and subtract, you simplify, and then do the, you will get a quadratic expression there. And then just apply the quadratic formula, or you can use the factorization, okay? The another or the easier way is, let us take this as like some u, okay? Let u equals to x plus 5. Then what do you get? You get u squared minus 3u plus 4 equals to 0, right? That's what you get. Now this is an easy quadratic form. So what are the two factors? You can write the factors directly, or you can break that as finding a, b, and c, and then get the two numbers whose sum is -3 and product is 4. You can do either way. Let's do the shortcut way. So you write u, and then u, right, equals to 0. Because a is 1, you can always do that if you can factorize. If you cannot factorize, you can do by using the quadratic formula. That is perfectly fine. Or the new method. You can do the new method too. That is perfectly fine. So what are the two numbers whose sum is -3 and product is +4? So we need the two numbers two numbers whose sum is negative 3 and product is positive 4. That should be 4 and negative 1, right? 4 and negative 1, that should be the number. So let's write down plus 4 and then negative 1. Now you said either, there is or either u plus 4 equals to 0 or u minus 1 equals to 0, right? Because the product is 0, means either this must be 0 or this must be 0. Otherwise, the product cannot be 0. Now subtract 4. So what do you get? U equals to negative 4. But what is u? U is x plus 5, right? X plus 5 equals to negative 4. So you subtract 5. What do you get? X equals to negative 9, right? Because that will cancel out. Negative 4 minus 5 is negative 9. Similarly, add 1. What do you get? U equals to positive 1. Now, but you need to find the value of x, not the value of u, because you assumed u just to make the problem easier. But you need to find out the value of x because the question is given in terms of x. So let's plug in u is x plus 5 equals to 1. So subtract 5. What do you get? That will cancel out. X equals to negative 4. Those are the two answers, negative 9 and negative 4. And similar to example number D, in example 5, we don't know the formula for fourth exponent, right? What we will be doing here is, since this has u square and all these exponent of y are the exponent of y square too, because there is y square, there is y square to the square, right? You can write this way: y square to the square minus 13y square plus 40 equals to 0. You see that? Let u equals to y square. Then you can write this as u square minus 13u plus 40 equals to 0. Since a is 1, you can write directly like u and then parenthesis and another u and then parenthesis equals to 0. So what are the two numbers whose sum is negative 13, product is 40? We need numbers with sum equals to negative 13 and product is positive 40. What are those? 8 and 5? Negative 8 and negative 5, right? Because the sum is negative 13, product is positive 40. So negative 8 and negative 5. Now either u minus 8 equals to 0, u minus 8 equals to 0, or u minus 5 equals to 0, right? If u minus 8 is 0, you add 8 on both sides, you get u equals to 8. But what is u? U is y square, right? Equals to 8. So what do you get? You take the square root, right? Y equals to plus minus root 8. I'm taking the square root, but you need to consider both plus and minus when you take the square root. So but 8 can be written as 2 times 2 times 2. You see that? You can write 2 times 2 times 2, and then for the square root from this pair you can take the 2 out. The 2 will still be inside the root. So you can write y equals to plus minus 2 comes outside and then that 2 stays inside. That are the two solutions here. And let's do this one. Add 5 on both sides. So u equals to 5. So this is same as x square equals to 5 because y square, right? Y square equals to 5. So now you take the square root. What do you get? Y equals to plus minus root 5. So we got 4 answers, right? And we're expecting that because we have power 4. So we're expecting 4 answers. Sometimes you get the repeated roots, but anyway, so you got 4 roots. Y equals to plus 2 root 2 minus 2 root 2. Y equals to plus root 5 and minus root 5. Okay, that's all. Thank you guys.